So I'll move to the next gentleman who is in the panel is Mr. Suleiman Hassan. Suleiman Hassan is the CCO and the risk officer on OneLink, from OneLink. Suleiman, I'll continue with the one of the initiatives with His Excellency Mr. Faisal Tirmizi mentioned earlier was about the Son Dharti remittance program. SDRP. So OneLink is running a very unique program by the name of SDRP. Please give an overview for our audience what exactly this program is all about by highlighting objectives, its operational details, and how is it helping non-citizen Pakistanis, and how it will promote remittances through legal channels. Please.
Assalamu alaikum to all the participants, and thank you for having me and in this very esteemed platform discussing a very critical element for Pakistani economy, which is the home remittances. Soni Dharti remittance program is actually a very critical program for increasing and expanding the legal remittances. That is one of the core matters highlighted by His Excellency Mr. Faisal Saab. And all other participants. It was first conceptualized back in 2019, and it took around 18-20 months to formally launch it from the Prime Minister's house back in 2021, Q4. And since September 2021, we have all the home remittance data in the Soni Dharti remittance program. So we are sitting at the pile of data which is like 135 to 136 approximately million transactions. It has more than Pakistani rupee worth of 14.5 or 14.6 trillion rupees of data that people have sent remittances from abroad, non-Pakistani residents from outside Pakistan sending home remittances to Pakistan either in their own accounts or to one of their receivers in home country. So this is the program. It is a consolidation of all the home remittance data. So that's the first step. The second step is giving the benefits to appreciate and acknowledge the home remittances sent by the Pakistanis to their home countries. And how it is being done. So if in a particular one calendar year, a person has sent up to 10,000 US dollars of home remittance amount, so they will get 1% of the PKR value as a loyalty points reward. So it's a, as Mr. Zamir has highlighted, that it's a digital age. Soni Dharti remittance program is run on the mobile app platform in both Urdu and English languages. So even the good thing is about that all the Facebook users, the social media users, the Instagram, the Twitter and the WhatsApp has enabled even the uneducated portion of masses to use the digital platforms, and we get the benefit out of Soni Dharti program also. So both languages are available for Soni Dharti application, which is English and Urdu. And people can track all their transactions from the Soni Dharti program. So all the banks and exchange companies in Pakistan give the data on daily basis to OneLink. And we upload that data on Soni Dharti platform. So if I'm a non-resident Pakistani living in Dubai, Sharjah or Abu Dhabi or in any other part of the world, and I sent it to Pakistan, send the money to Pakistan, I will go to the Soni Dharti app next day and I will find that transaction in my name. So I'm just highlighting that this was not an easy program because there are diversified data standardization issues. People from sending home remittance to Pakistan from Dubai use a different receipts, use a different track of transactions than the people sending from Norway or people sending the money from US. So we had to standardize it all across the different data elements needed to be consolidated in a one set framework. It requires a lot of challenges, and then the next level was to recognize that this person is a legal remitter who has sent this particular transaction. So we had to use a NADRA database, which is a national database of the citizens of Pakistan, run by the Ministry of Interior. And I'm just trying to highlight the whole ecosystem which is built by this initiative of Soni Dharti Remittance Program. So from Ministry of Interior to Ministry of Finance, private sector banks and exchange companies, and then OneLink as the custodian and manager of this program. So this is a kind of national initiative that was conceptualized by the Ministry of Finance, State Bank, and Pakistan Remittance Initiative. These are the three entities which has assigned this job to OneLink. As Mr. Zamir said, the digital railroads are already available in Pakistan, and OneLink is one of the key paradigm of enabling and fostering this digital ecosystem in Pakistan. So they find OneLink in the best position as a trusted party regulated entity to use our cloud on the private and government sector and manage this program. So this is basically a reward loyalty-based point mechanism. People sending money through legal means get this reward. There are three categories initially conceptualized. One was the green category. People get the benefits out of their remittance amount of 1% as a loyalty points in the PKR value of what they are sending. And then there was a gold category. They get the loyalty points of 1.25%. And then there was a platinum category of 1.75% of loyalty points they were receiving. So in the last August, government of Pakistan has announced a new category by the name of diamond category. And now people can get rewards out of 1.75% if their overall remittance amount is more than 50,000 of US dollars in one particular year. If it is between 30 to $50,000, so they will get a platinum category, and from 10 to $30,000 they get a gold category. Below 10,000 category there is a green category. So these are four categories now in Soni Dharti Remittance Program. And as it's a very frequently used phrase that data is a new oil, you know. I'm not very sure how many people are agreeing to this point, but in a way, data is definitely helping us in utilizing national causes, improving the current ecosystems. Digital platforms are helping and bolstering those issues which are not very focused previously. So it's a very generic overview of what Soni Dharti Remittance Program is all about. I hope I will be able to add more later on.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Suleiman. Yes, you rightly said that data is the new oil. We all agree with that. I think most of the people in the hall will also agree. Now, managing such a data is the way SDRP is doing it. Really hats off to them. And as a consumer, we all love the word guarantee, and we all love the rewards. So I'm sure, you know, like obviously freebies also at times, that this initiative which is taken, it is take the legal remittances in the right directions for Pakistan as a country. All the best for that. Now, moving on to the next gentleman, we have Mr. Usman Rais. So Usman comes from, he represents an money transfer operator, MTO, and a very popular and one of the biggest, I will say, in the world, Instant Cash. He is the chief operating officer. So now looking at the legal remittances from the money transfer operators perspective, so What is instant cash, Usman, as a money transfer operator doing to encourage legal remittances to Pakistan?
Thank you, Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and good morning. Firstly, it's a pleasure and honor to share a panel with the industry leaders, a lot of known faces. It's always good to see all of them. Yeah, so firstly, Imad, I will touch upon a little bit brief on instant cash, and then I will just share my thoughts what instant cash is doing. So instant cash is a part of fintechs, the fintech arm of Emirates Post Group. Instant cash headquarters are in Dubai. Currently, as we speak, we operate in 75 plus countries globally. We have 150,000 plus locations. We offer cash over the counter that is very traditional, account transfers and mobile wallets. So what is the mission of instant cash? I will correlate later in the discussion. The mission of instant cash is connecting people, enabling them to send money back home to have a better life. That is the mission of instant cash. So coming back to what instant cash is doing, we are doing a lot of marketing activities to promote uh, uh, services towards the legal channel. We plan the activities in the labor camps. We do the road shows. Uh, we do a lot of teller incentives. We do a lot of drives awareness campaign on the social media. So a combo of all this is helping us a lot. If I specifically talk about instant cash network for Pakistan, we deal with all the largest banks, largest, medium and smaller banks in Pakistan. We enjoy the network of 10,000 plus locations, that is cash. So every look and corner, instant cash has helped and is growing year on year and acceleration the business towards legal channel from all the sides.
Okay, Usman, and I'll just ask one more thing from you. Uh, when we look at the subcontinent countries, the culture also plays a very important role. Like we have all, let's accept it, the traditional culture we come from. And when I look at the gray market, when we get the feedback from the customers at times, they say that we have the family issues, the traditional issues, the females, they cannot go out to bank and they cannot go out to counters to collect the cash. What about instant cash or about some other MTOs? Are they delivering cash to their home at the doorstep of the beneficiary back home in Pakistan?
Yeah, Iman, it's a good question. Definitely not at the moment, but we have a plan to do that just to have an option uh, to give a competition. I would say to Hundi and Havala. What they do is that they deliver this at doorsteps. So we are in talks. Also, this is one of the topic I was in discussion with State Bank of Pakistan as well to have some channels where officially the money can be delivered to the doorstep. And I would say with the speed and service, convenience is another very important factor. Uh, Adding to the digital side, why digital side is growing is because of there is a lot of convenience. Most of the Pakistanis, specifically talking about in Pakistan, of course they will not prefer their families to go to the counter and stand in the long queues and collect the money. So this initiative is already in place, and very soon we're gonna launch that.
Okay, thank you, Usman. I think this is one, and then the other aspect when if we want to counter this gray market is like they have that model of BNPL also, buy now and pay later. So you transfer the money now, and then after 2 months, 3 months, you can give it here. So maybe microfinancing coming soon and getting it regularized for exchange houses and MTOs that can also help to a greater extent, I'm sure. Sir, coming back to you, I think you spoke about the initiative which the consumer need to take, and you also updated us about the initiative which the government has taken. Now, listening to my friend Mr. Suleiman also about the SNDRP, I think it's an excellent initiative that the government has taken, and the suggestion coming from Mr. Osama also what we can do, and the MTOs and the digital remittance. I think we all know about this the carrot and the stick. like we know about the carrot. So there isn't enough of the carrot on one side. Now, this is a time for when we talk about illegal, something which is illegal, then it is against the law. So that stick should also play its part. So, what is your opinion like about the whistleblowing policy? We all know that the fear of police is more than actual the police in the general public. That's the view. That's what we all believe. So, what about the whistleblowing policy to be adopted by Pakistan government specifically for reporting for any illegal money transfer operators? We have recently seen some crackdowns happening, and we have seen in the neighboring country also some of the crackdowns which have happened. So, what is your opinion like? It should be there on, and how well it has to be executed, because the moment we see in the media, like this shop is caught for doing illegal money transfer, or this he has been arrested or he has been fined. The moment we see these kind of news coming in, so automatically the general public will also have that fear factor, and they will avoid using this channel. So once they avoid using this channel, then like they can also, the people who are doing it will also be reluctant to do it. Your view, sir?
Yes, carrot and stick. State has to wield both policies. We have enacted a law in November 2022. As per that law, anyone can report to the State Bank of Pakistan if any illegal activity is going on. It should be credible, factual, with as many facts as possible. It should not be based on frivolous charges or on personal vendettas. The identity of the complainant is kept secret. That is something guaranteed by the government of Pakistan. And we are seeing the results. You have seen that in terms of dollars, it had gone to as high as 330 rupees to a dollar, and it is now touching below 280. So unfortunately, in South Asia, both carrot and stick policies have to be implemented. So we have already working in that direction.
That's really a good news to know that. Now, the next question, I think, which I'm going to ask, it's a very important question, and it's for all the exchange houses here in UAE and the banks and our partner banks in Pakistan. First of all, I think we all are the bankers, the financial executives sitting here. The State Bank of Pakistan deserves an applause from making the rebate from 20 Saudi Riyal to 30, please. So from the FERJ side also, from the exchange industry, on behalf of FERJ, as a joint treasurer, I would also like to thank the SBP for this. Now, this important question, though Mr. Osama, you represent the FERJ, and I will say the exchange houses, but I want you to be neutral in this and reply to this question that this, as you know, that the State Bank has recently increased rebate from 20 Saudi Riyal to 30 Saudi Riyal. How do you think it will promote the remittances through legal channels? And what should be the strategy going forward so that it's a win-win model for both exchange houses and their partner banks back home in Pakistan? Because everything will be reviewed after a period of time, like 1 year or 2 years, like we have started this initiative, what value it has brought back to us. So your views on this, sir, please.
Thank you. I believe this was, first of all, a good and a great initiative from State Bank of Pakistan to increase the rebate. It is much needed. Let us also agree that, exchange houses in the UAE or in any other parts in the region, in the GCC, acting like any other business. They have their own, parameters of cost and of the escalation of the cost of compliance, cost of doing business. we all know that the inflation has an impact also on doing businesses for many other sectors other than financial institutions, but specifically banking and exchange houses and financial institutions has been catering to the dynamics of the requirements of the regulatory requirements, and so they have to invest a lot on the compliance side and a lot in the technology side. So the cost has been really rising in the past few years. This initiatives, I believe, is very critical to create an incentive to the exchange houses, first of all. Now, on the other side, we've been speaking about how to retain our clients versus the other illegal channels promoting their own services. Here, the call for all exchange houses to start deploying some of this income in order to create the awareness, marketing themselves, creating what I call it a value proposition for those customers who we make them to stick. And always in marketing, they said to retain a client, you just spend 20% versus having a new clients. So allocating some of these budgets, or in order to retain our existing clients by creating a better value proposition for them, which makes it difficult for the other parties to counter those offers. We need to meet those challenges in a real way, because we are dealing with consumers at the end, and they have the final decision on where they want to do their transactions. This recalls me many years ago, back in the 90s, when we met with the Filipino banks, where they call it, at the time, they call it the cargo people. They were also dominating the remittances to Philippines. Philippines is also receiving around 38 billion today through official channels. But at the time, the cargo people were providing a service called door-to-door. And door-to-door means they utilize and leverage on their existing here, being on cargo. This is why they call it cargo. And they receive the money from home, and they were having also delivery over there at home. So this was a superior service, purely from service point of view, really a superior service, but it's all informal. So the banks, all of them gathered, and they said, why we cannot do the same? Why we cannot do door-to-door, by outsourcing the delivery of this one? And guess what? They were able to attract all the Filipinos down here. And then by a lot of awareness and, campaigning, people started having a superior service, but through the formal channels. Creating value proposition for the consumer, I believe one of those initiatives should be taken. And again, I urge all, and I'm really grateful and thankful for even the Pakistani banks, because they've been very proactive. They've been, so supportive on those initiatives. This kind of collaboration, again, I am insisting on the collaboration. So I'm sorry for that, but it is the way you can address challenges. It's the only way.
Thank you, Mr. Osama. I think we all should accept it. Look at the SDRP, the initiatives. It's a very good initiative that the government has taken. And the incentive, like rebate from 20 to 30, we all will agree that the government at their level, at the policy level, they have been continuously putting on efforts to bring the legal money, to bring the money through the legal channels to Pakistan. But it's the awareness which has to be there among the general public, which maybe they are not aware of, about at times, which His Excellency also spoke about, that there is a lot of work to be taken. And the stick, I think the time has come now, because when you look at these initiatives like the 30 Saudi Riyal, which the government is taking on itself and investing in so many reward programs and to have the centralized data, it all comes with a cost. So this is the time of the stick has come now, that they have to be very serious now on cracking down on these all illegal money transfer operators. Then only, so we can see that, yes, we'll move towards from 31 billion, inshallah, to 40 billion going forward, maybe in the next 5 years. Until unless, I'm sure, because you look at top 6 recipients of ILC, like it starts with India, Mexico, China, Philippines, Egypt, and then it's Pakistan. And I'm sure, like the same thing, Pakistan has the potential of being in the top 5. And the same thing we have recently seen in Egypt, which is started happening off late. So as a human, we have the tendency, like we have to have both the carrot and the stick at the same time. So the time has come for that also. Now, coming to my old friend, Mr. Zamir again. So what are the steps that can be taken to further enhance the digital and the legal remittances to Pakistan? What exactly are the customer requirements and expectations? If you can just elaborate on that.
Thank you, Ahmad. That's a very important question. Before I give my views and touch upon those kind of maybe the steps, some of them actually have already been discussed and addressed while we are discussing it since last some time. But the main key, the main kind of view I have that is that we need to be consistent in this approach, that we know what are the kind of gaps, we know what are the steps that can be taken, which His Excellency Mr. Faisal and Mr. Suleiman also highlighted, that some steps are already being taken to kind of promote the legal remittances and to challenge, to kind of stringent take measures against the non-legal remittances. But there has to be a consistency. We need to have a consistent approach to these illegal or not legal routes of remittances. So that's one thing that first of all we need to check upon. The steps, I think, to kind of promote the legal remittances, specifically in terms of talking about Pakistan, the financial inclusion, in my view, is one of the major challenges. Although I talked about earlier that we are seeing in Pakistan the transactions are increasing, the internet banking users are increasing, the local transactions increasing, in services there, infrastructure is there. But even if we compare that with the other kind of other countries, neighboring countries, so still there is a big gap there. So Pakistan, the financial inclusion, in terms of the bank accounts, the banking accounts that are there available for the Pakistanis, it's just around 20%. So if we compare it with other countries, like for example, even Bangladesh, they have financial inclusion at the rate of about 50%. Sri Lanka is at 70%. India is at 80%. So still there's a big gap there. So that's something that needs to be addressed. And I believe government of Pakistan is already working towards those steps. As we are aware that recently there had been an approval given to 5 digital banks, wherein there'll be new 5 digital banks coming up in Pakistan. And that will help again in the steps to grow the financial inclusion. And more customers will be able to easily open accounts. And even Mashriq is one of those 5 banks actually. So we have our plans of opening the Mashriq Pakistan by Q3 of 24, and along with the other 4 digital banks. So this is again a very, very important kind of a point that needs to be addressed. The second is awareness and education. So already, as Mr. Osama also touched, so there has to be this message put across to the expat populations. And as we know, there are few countries where most of the Pakistani expat populations are there, Saudi Arabia, UAE, European countries, US. So these are few of the corridors. And I think in a way it's a good it's benefit that we can reach to these expat population and educate them, make them aware that what are the facilities, what are the features, which I believe still a big population of these expats are not aware. But what are the benefits of the legal remittances and what are the challenges they would face if they're not remitting through the legal channels? The second is, again, as I believe you also addressed, is the gap between the legal remittance channels and the parallel market. So still there is a gap in the exchange rate. So that's something that needs to be addressed. And again, there's a stringent policies which already are there in Pakistan. So those policies need to be actually implemented. There needs to be a curb to these parallel markets so that they don't kind of flourish. So there has to be all these measures have to be consistently consistently implemented over a period of time. So, and after that, sure, as you mentioned, why not, why 40 billion, even grow higher than that? But there has to be a quite consistent approach in all these steps. So definitely, I don't think there is a 40 billion is a mark, which is not a possible mark. And regarding the expectations, as you touched upon the second point of the consumers, I believe it's a very simple kind of expectation. Even we had done some kind of a surveys also, some research with our customers, and even some other surveys and researches that have been done with the consumers. So one is like an easy remittance service at the convenience at their doorstep. Maybe they don't need to go out, take out their car, or even for the low-income segment, which is like for the laborers out there. So they have to take a cab, go out to an exchange house, spend their time in the hot seasons, wait on the counter, and then wait for the funds to be received. So already some of the population within the countries have been given this facility of digital remittances, but there is still a big population which don't have the access to this online remittances, digital remittances. So that's something that needs to be kind of checked. And the journey, the user journey, whether it is digital or whether it is non-digital, has to be very kind of user-friendly. The customers should not be very confused at what details they have to give, what's the next step. So it has to be very kind of a easy journey that has to be provided to the users, to the customers, so that they can feel that, okay, they don't feel that stress that, okay, I don't want to do it, let me go through the normal illegal channels. I'll just give them a call, give them the funds, and the funds would be transferred. So it should be much easier than compared to those kind of not formal channels. And at the same time, again, the product should be very resilient. There should be cost, as already touched upon, also the cost of remittance should be low. Apart from that, there are a few things that currently maybe we are not providing to the customers is the tracking facility. For example, currently what is happening if a customer is making a remittance to Pakistan or any other country, so he's sent the funds. So sometimes he's not able to track the funds, like, okay, what happened to the funds? Has it been reached to the beneficiary? Then he has to call the beneficiary, oh, I received or not received or not received. Why he did not receive? Maybe there could be some, due to some compliance reason or some any other reason. So that transparency, that tracking is not there. So that transactions, those remittances need to be quite transparent, and customers should be able to track these transactions, so he feels a kind of a confidence in that. And again, the compliance, as Mr. Osama also touched upon, although we know definitely, I don't say that we need to compromise on the compliance policies, and we cannot do that. But still, it has to be kind of developed in a way that customers should not feel the pressure on him, that even if he's remitting 500 dirhams or 1,000 dirhams, and then he receives a query that, oh no, give us the details of the beneficiary and the remitter and what's the reason why you're sending. So next time he'll say, like, it's okay, let me not use the services, even sending a 500,000 dirhams, I'm getting a kind of a queries on that. So that's something I think we need to fine tune these compliance policies. So I think if these steps are taken, compliance. So all these steps are kind of to be taken on a very consistent, regular way. And I don't think we should be far away from the 40 billion mark.
Thanks, Samir. I just want to take your opinion on one more thing. When we talk about the digital remittance, there is an initiative which is taken by UAE Central Bank also, that is UAE PGS, which they took, and they are working they are working to upgrade that also. Before it was like we used to some other payment networks. If we use the payment channel, there will be a 3% charge which will never be levied on the principal value. So it never used to make any business case. Yani if you are sending 1,000 dirhams, there is a charge or a merchant fee. You can say that 3% which will be paid, and that will never make a business case. 30 dirhams, no exchange house or financial institution is going to take on himself when somebody is sending 1,000. Then UAE Central Bank took this initiative of UAE PGS, and they're also upgrading it to a next level, so that there is a very nominal fixed fee for the merchant to promote this. So, what's your opinion on that, Zamir? Can you just throw some light on that for us?
I'm sorry, I don't have much background about that, so I won't be able to give a view on that.
Okay, okay. So we'll move to the favorite subject of all of us, and the one which we all love a lot, love in any institution. In our MBAs, we were taught the business of business is to do business, but then that definition changed. In the 90s, it was like the marketing which was running the show, then running the business. Then after the next decade, it came, the IT, it started running the show, running the business. Now it is the compliance department which is running the business for us. So coming back to my friend Suleiman Hassan, as you're looking after the risk and the compliance functions in iLink, what risk issues and controls are considered important for SDRP, in your opinion? And second, we are talking about bringing legal remittances, legal challenge, the consumer who is into the gray markets customer, him to a legal channel where the compliance level has gone to, like out of 9 out of 9 grade out of 10 on a scale, where we are moved to extreme advanced monitoring and the screening system. We have moved to the Delta screening, the online digital verification, which is happening in UAE. We have reached to that channel. So, what is your view on the SDRP, how you are managing it, and the overall, like on this, the customer who's a grey market customer, bringing him to what challenges you will face if you'll bring him into the legal framework?
That's the most difficult part of running the SDRP, the Sony 30 remittance program. And I believe everybody here will understand why it is the most difficult part. The difficulty here is we reviewed how many similar programs are being run in the whole world, similar to SDRP, when we were conceptualizing it, when it was the idea at the very initial level. After like 2 to 3 weeks, we find that there is no such program. We might have a short of knowledge at that time, but we couldn't find any loyalty points program based out of the home remittances. So the reason why we were looking for it was because we wanted to see the rules and regulations around that. So we couldn't find any rules and regulation around the points loyalties given to the home remittances. So we had to evolve. We have to come up with something that is not only workable, but also controlled and not used by fraudsters or any illegal people. So when we initially find the idea of it, we launched it in a way that we also learned by the progress of the Sony 30. And we incorporated, as I said, a national database regulatory authority of the citizens of Pakistan to verify the remitters using their own biometric system on the application that we were running. And based out of that verification, they were able to mark those remittances in their name, which were assigned to their either passport numbers or the identity cards, the NICOP cards issued by the government of Pakistan. So they were initial pain points. Later on, we find that there is another dimension of it. A home remittance coming from a blue-collar worker living in a labor camp in Riyadh or Doha or Dubai is very different value for remittance money as compared to the white-collar person sending thousands of dollars in a one go. So only few less than $100 worth priceless for that labor who is sending money, but that might not be the same case with the white collar person. So we had to identify the different tiers of the remittances coming in and how we control that. And then there is another dimension of it, understanding the Pakistani diaspora living. So there are people who are from the same village living in a same vicinity area, and they are sending remittances collectively to Pakistan, maybe not in a one-to-one accounts, but one-to-many accounts, or pool of accounts to another pool of receiving accounts. So these are the technicalities that were involved, and we had to identify all these tiers, understanding them, and even the loyalty points were accumulated because the center is one on behalf of many. So the loyalty points are not only accumulated but also spent in as a welfare unit to their own contributors. So there are so many dimensions that we learn through, and we make the rules out of our own risk assessment reviews and the compliance reviews. So this is one area. Another point was, imagine that out of 14.6 trillion worth of home remittances, we have already issued, allocated the points of 8.9 billion rupees. And out of 8.9 billion rupees, equivalent to rupees, the remitters and the beneficiaries have already redeemed almost 4.6 billion rupees from 7 public sector entities. So they get their passports updated, renewed. Out of those Soni Dharti loyalty points, they get utility stores, grocery from back in Pakistan by their own family members or beneficiaries. They book the PIA flights using those. And not only that, recently we are in talks with, and government has already approved the concept. We as OneLink are custodian of a product by the name of One Bill, which is a 2,400 billing companies on our platform. So now government has allowed us to enable the redemption of Soni Dharti points on those private sector billing entities. So now, if I am having a few thousands of Soni Dharti loyalty points, I can pay my electricity bill back in Pakistan using those points. I can do that I can redeem those points by paying my kids' school fees using those loyalty points. So once this will be open, because this this initiative was recently approved, so it will take few months. Maybe by next month, we would be able to launch the One Bill on the Soni Dharti platform also. So by doing that, we will go into a different kind of a compliance ecosystem, where there is a possibility which we are reviewing at what kind of disputes will be arising, what kind of risk that will be arising Uh, and in order to address all of that before going into the post-launch phase, we are currently undergoing comprehensive exercises, and there is a possibility that we will miss out something, and we learn as we progress.
Yeah. I do appreciate and acknowledge, because as we all know that one to many is a very fundamental and a basic monitoring, which can any basic compliance system will catch it, and how you guys are managing it. It's really acknowledging, hats off to you and your
Thank
team
you.
and the people behind it. And not only this, I'm sure like the hard work which the finance team is also might be booking when you book a reward points in your system, then you are also creating a liability in your book. So it's a lot of hard work which goes behind, like a lot of people are involved, and these are the initiatives the government takes. Then the results should definitely come out, and the people who are against it, they should definitely be punished.
Absolutely.
Coming to my friend Mr. Usman Reis, this is the last question, maybe like before we end this session and go to the audience for some questions. Um, as a money transfer operator delivering cash, what do you think? Like how money transfer operators can contribute to convert the unbanked segment into a banking segment?
Thank you, Ahmad. So, what we have seen and we have been witnessing close to 2 decades in the industry, and you were part and parcel of that, one of that, and Zamir, Hosama, and all. So, there are two roles to play. One is at the send side, and other is on the receive side. The send side, we as an instant cash and other players, we are doing a lot of marketing activities in the labor camps. We are also doing a lot of initiatives on the social media. We also do a lot of campaigns with the partners banks of Pakistan. They have been very supportive, and we are trying our best, to create an awareness to send money through the legal channel as well as through the digital channels. So on digital channel, what Instant Cash is playing a role is recently we have launched our REST-based APIs that is cloud-based, and it's very easy to integrate as we speak. And you mentioned, Nimad, that there were times earlier it was business, then technology, now compliance everywhere. So it's very independent kind of APIs where our partners can integrate without a lot of dependencies on us. And our network is increasing everywhere on the send side to send money through the legal channel. And on the receive side also, we are trying our best to create a awareness campaign within Pakistan. So when the traditional customers or the unbanked customers, when they will hear, they see the receive side, what is instant cash and what is other companies as well. So they can just ask their remitters to send money through the legal channel. So at the receive side, there are a lot of radio campaigns. When the customer comes into the counter, it's again awareness for them. And interestingly, as we are talking about Pakistan, so I have personally seen a big shift uh, between cash and account transfer transactions. I vaguely remember earlier the ratio was 90%, it was a cash over the counter, which has, and 10% was account transfer. And as we speak, so I have seen that there is a ratio has changed to 50-50. So that is a gross significant shift towards digital. And digital is the answer as we speak. And we are going towards that.
Thank you, Swan. I think the main objective, since this cash at the counter and the banks was introduced way back in the late 90s or way back in the early 2000, was to open account in those respective banks where the beneficiary is going to collect the cash. But some negative feedback we do get from not only from Pakistan, from other countries, the bank representative, that they at times, like you irritate the customer who has come to receive the money, and then they are always reluctant to collect the cash. So it's always advisable. It's a cross selling. That first, the basic rule of the cross selling is first you serve, then you sell. Like if he has come to collect the cash, give him the cash first, and then you try to open the bank account for him or her. So before we move to the audience, one last question I'll take from you, Mr. Osama. I'll ask you regarding the digital remittance initiative, which the UAE Central Bank and their vision or opinion, what they are. If you can throw some, if you can throw some light for our audience here in UAE, since like the likes of UAE PGS and
UAE
those kind of
Central Bank
initiatives.
is having a huge project which is called the NPSS, which I think all the stakeholders are aware of it. There is phases where the bank will enroll. This will reshape the whole infrastructure of the digital payments in a focal points, and this will bring us to the what we call it state-of-art technology when it comes to the consumers, the payments, the cross payments between institutions, between individuals, for the trade. Even the checks will become electronic checks. So that will reshape. I mean, already this is a live project going on. It might have been maybe the implementation is being maybe delayed for some time, but now the implementation already started. So the strategy of the government is clear, is about going fully digital, to be cashless, and this is, we can see it in different initiatives. Dubai Digital, for example, and the Dubai Sadad. This is eliminating the use of cash and allowing what we call it instant payments. This topic is being adopted also by most of the financial institutions worldwide. Last year, I was attending Sivos in Amsterdam, and this was one of the main themes about the frictionless payment, about the cross-border payments, about the instant payments not only within the same country, but across borders as well. And even the ability, for your information, Zamir, is to track the GPI and the ISO 20022 of the SWIFT, allow you to do full tracking to the payments until the end and see where it is parked, and give you more transparency about. So the payment industry as a whole is reshaping itself and repositioning itself based on the latest technology, especially the availability today of generative AI, and the machine learning and the big data and the data analysis and so forth. The usage of such infrastructure from technology point of view is being really brought even on the compliance matter, because now they use advanced level of using artificial intelligence for what they call the contextual monitoring, which is a very advanced level of how you monitor transactions. I believe this all tools will really allow all of us to have a more efficient, speedy, and instant payment, inshallah, for the future.